Good evening. This is Cheryl at Sea Spirit Tarot. And I'm still working on this 31 Days of Tarot 2020 from Ethany. I'm starting to see where people combine them, because I already make a video every day because this is my school of me, and I am learning and I am critiquing myself. And then here's another one, and sometimes I do more anyway because I'm retired and I have time and it's fun, but some of them just seem like kind of, I don't know. I'm going to combine them. I see people combining them. Here's what I'm going to combine. I'm going to combine what has the tarot taught me in the last year, the tarot cards that stalked me in 2019, and what was a memorable tarot reading. Well, first of all, I went through my journals here, and I came back to the tarot on June 3rd. And I started making myself a regiment. Every morning I would get up and I would study tarot for like 3 to 4 hours. Study. You know, take the cards, make stories, and do a reading for myself. Okay, that was June 3rd. Then, I quite enjoy it very much. I wasn't online. I was tarot journaling, dragging out books, seeing what I had, coming back in. And the cards that kept stalking me would be what taught me, what brought me back is I was tired of being the hangman. And I was sick and tired of being the hermit. The hermit, I just had him here. Well, I'm pretty prejudiced against the hermit right now because I was the hermit for a long time. Anyway, the other cards that kept stalking me, I do a 12-card reading made by Patisi. Forgot his first name. I'm so bad. That's why I'm doing this, because every time I do it, I get better. Just like after I post my card reading, I look and go, oh, look at this and look at that. But so, all these court cards, all of them. It's a 12-card reading, and I would have 4 to 6 court cards, and usually 2 or 3 for major arcana. So I was ready for something to change. So I don't know if I was using the cards to read me, or if I was using the cards as a spell, so to speak, to put that energy out there to create. Because I've already had one nursing burnout that was pretty big, and I stayed out for a year. I've quit nursing so many times. And I was toast. It was hurting me so bad. The hours were 14, 16 hours. I've had enough of AMA. I've had enough of administration. One thing nice about being 68 is you can say, I don't care about your administration. You know, I'm here to do this. I couldn't have done that when I was raising my children, that's for sure. The other cards that actually stalked me, would be the Empress or the High Priestess. Was almost always in my read. I'd have to go through my journals and you know, actually do a count if you want to survey. But these 2 cards were always in there. So I kept taking the archetypes of the court cards and talking to the cards and inviting the positive aspects of each of them that I needed into me. And of course, obviously, I did this. These 2 ladies also, because I'm a goddess, right? And I'm sick of this. This card also stalked me a lot as a teacher healer, but a teacher. Expansion, Jupiter, and change, a 5. So my most momental read that I did, and remember I only started reading in June, and I've read for some friends, but I haven't read out in general for public in 17 years or something like that. And well, that will be a different video that's on this list, right? But anyway, on the full moon, lunar eclipse, Capricorn, Cancer. And for some reason, I'm thinking we're coming back to that like this month. But I could be crazy on that. But I just am looking at old tarot journals. Full moon, lunar eclipse reading, July 16th. And the cards as they came up would be I would read the cards. If I had to go to work, because I got to get up at 4:30, had to be there at 6. It was only 2 blocks from my house. I rode my bicycle. That's probably the reason I was still there. That it was long-term care and rehab, and, you know, it's not like crazy high. You had 22 patients, but it's not like acute patients on a med-surg floor. But anyway, here we go. Justice. Make a decision. Now, before I get into this, I want to say, I'm not going to do readings before, but the readings leading up here, and actually even this one, I'm going, oh no, please just wait. Just let me make a little more money, right? But I mean, I was cooked. I was fried, and I knew it was time. But somehow in my victimhood, caught in that paradigm of the Virgo Saturn thing, you know, I was crazy. Anyway, come up with justice. A decision has to be made. The Knight of Wands, movement has to be made. Movement with my sun soul source, my energy, my who I am, my golden essence, right? Death. Chariot. I'm condensing this down, okay? Kill it off, balance it, beat it down, kill it off, renew it, come back rebalanced, and a 3 of coins, which would be consulting with the craftsperson, coming together. The second manifestation after the ace of an enterprise, manifesting physically, and the money would be okay, right? And on the heart soul, on the other part of the cross of why I was doing this, the final outcome of that, of what it would be from a heart soul, was the King of Swords. And he has this kingdom, and he cuts it loose. I mean, cut it out. I'm going, no. So, I mean, I'm 68. Why should I worry about the working? I can live on what I have. I'm pretty much of a minimalist anyway, you know. The day before I go, so I did those cards, and then the morning before I go to work, I get all ready, and I draw 1 card, and now this would be this was the 16th. The morning of the 17th, I drew this card, the World. On the day of the 17th here, where this star is, of July, I had my second nursing burnout. It's really funny. I had it when State was there inspecting. You know, the Alzheimer patients were overplaying, but I mean, I just couldn't even hardly get it together. I was so burnt out, so done, hurt so bad, so exhausted. And I remember turning around and talking to an ANC. I am like, I'm done. I'm out of here. And she says, you know what? You walked in here this morning at 5:45, and you said this was your last day. The tarot said it would be done. And this is the card I had drawn. So I'm a very novice returning to tarot after many years. I'm grateful to see how many, as I look through these, how many of us are returning after many years, and how especially some of us that are older, and I'm going to add the 40s in there. I mean, I'm almost 70, but our journeys and what the tarot have done for us seem to be quite similar, and that's pretty cool. So anyway, this was my 31 Days of Tarot 2020. Verbal response to Anthony, but I did 5, so it taught me. I use this to develop aspects of myself from those court cards. Studied the court cards, talked to the court cards, was with the court cards. They continued to appear. as with the Emperor and the Empress and the High Priestess. And I set it right there in motion, and the King of Swords came in and cut it off after telling me that night before, and then that morning he says, yeah, this is it. It's the world. It's complete. What stalked me, I covered that. That is the most memorable tarot reading that I have done in 2019, even though I haven't even done the cards for a whole year since. But I am grateful, and I just think that's just kick-ass what it did, how it did that. So quickly, just coming back to tarot, starting June 3rd, and had that all manifested and taken care of, and somehow balanced within me. You know, if I had just stomped in there, and that was my last day, I still would have packed all this guilt and bullshit. But the tarot let me slide right through that, let me set it up, showed me, took its own power of what it was going to be, and took care of it. And it's still taking care of me, as every day I continue to grow more deeply in whatever card set that I am studying. So, this has been fun, and thank you if you came to my reading at the School of Cheryl. It's kind of crazy here. Blessings to you all. I tell you to have a wonderful weekend, but I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Saturday. It's nice thing about being retired, being an old crone. You got some wisdom. There's no time restraints. Love and light to everybody. May the goddess bless. Good night.